I have a confession to make. I used to live in a shopping mall. Not literally in the mall. It was an apartment building that was next to the mall. But it was connected to the mall. Like literally, I could walk from the lobby of my apartment building to Nordstrom in the space of about 15 to 30 seconds. And it really marked the low point of my life in a lot of ways. And I think the mall sort of summed the whole thing up. I would describe my why at that point in my life as something along the lines of Margaritaville. It was like, enjoy life, be laid back. And so even though I had started my entrepreneurial career, I was working for a startup. My definition of like good living would be to get home at 5 o'clock from my job doing technical support and have a really large Vietnamese beer with my girlfriend, and sometimes even do that during lunch hour. And I remember like living in this apartment, this very sort of sterile apartment overlooking the shopping mall, and I would go down sometimes during the weekend and I would just walk around the mall. And it was like I was looking for something. I couldn't figure out what it was. But there is this, like somehow there is this emptiness of like, maybe I'll find it in here somewhere. And I'd go into Sharper Image, and I'd like the massage chair looked really cool, and I'd want to, sort of lust after all of these physical possessions. And that was as far as I could see in terms of what would bring me joy and meaning in my life. And so everything changed. I was at work one day, and I got a phone call that I had been waiting for about 6 months, and it was my dad on the phone letting me know that my mom had died. She had died of cancer after a 3-year battle. And I got on a plane, I flew out to Hawaii, we did the funeral, and I came back, and the night that I came back, I got in at about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I talked with my girlfriend, and she had left the apartment within 15 minutes of me walking in. The relationship was over. And that was the beginning of a lot of change. She actually walked across the courtyard into Nordstrom and booked a room at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel overlooking our apartment and attempted suicide that night. And that was just the beginning. About 2 weeks later, I made a trip down to Norfolk, Virginia with my dad to go through the reading of the will, and I found out that I had been given enough money that, at least for a while, I didn't have to work. And then, as if all that wasn't enough, I signed up for a course a couple of days after that changed my life. And this isn't a plug for the course, but it opened up a new world to me. It opened up the possibility of actually thinking about what a why could become. And what was interesting is like these circumstances, this massive change that it had evolved in my life was now forcing me into a position where why was not like the thing on the periphery anymore. It was like I had to figure it out. Like I was being called to actually go deeper and figure out why I was really here. And it started a 25-year journey. And so it wasn't until about 15 or 20 years to the journey that I actually started to get a why that I started to feel really good about. It happened at a yurt in Esalen, at the Esalen Retreat Center. And for those of you who don't know Esalen and don't know what a yurt is, you're going to have to wait because that's another story. But the short version of it was that I was doing a program about leadership and exploring the intersection of what was important to me, what was I good at, what did I care about, and where did it meet providing value to other people in the world. And it was like a curtain got pulled back across my heart. And I saw an image of me in a circle with 10 or 15 other people, and I knew that we were all there to realize our full potential for love and joy and contribution. Being able to be the best selves that we could be and to share that with the world and to contribute something to the world. And I couldn't unsee it. That's been my why for the past 5 or 6 years, ever since. And what I think is interesting in terms of like the conclusion of the story is that there's a why to the time in the desert why, the time in the shopping mall why. And there's a beauty in that. You know, there's a story about a poem by Anthony Machado where he talks about the beehive that's our heart and how the bees take the hard experiences of our lives and they make honey out of them. They make sweetness, they make love. Not in that way. And what I learned from my time in the shopping mall is that it taught me compassion. And it taught me to realize that even the people who are living in the shopping mall have dignity. And I know what it's like. And it broadened my sense of what it is to be a human being and what it is to be connected. And for that, I'm grateful. Thank you.